Elliot had always prided himself on being the adventurous one in his friend group. Whether it was climbing trees as a kid, trying the sketchiest rides at carnivals, or volunteering to taste test strange foreign snacks, he loved proving that he had no fear. So when his friends gathered at a food festival one Saturday and stumbled upon a booth advertising the world's hottest pepper challenge, finish one, win $100, Elliot's eyes lit up. A crowd had already gathered. The booth owner, a wiry man with a devilish grin, held up a bright red pepper the size of a thumb. "This here," he announced dramatically, "is the Carolina Reaper, officially the hottest pepper on earth. 1,500 times hotter than a jalapeno. If you can eat one whole and last 5 minutes without milk, you win $100. The crowd oohed and ahed. Elliot's friends shook their heads immediately. "No way, that's insanity." But Elliot puffed out his chest. "Please, it's just a pepper. People exaggerate." "You sure about this?" his friend Nora asked. "Remember what happened when you put too much hot sauce on your taco last month? That was different," Elliot scoffed. "This time, I'm prepared." He marched up to the booth. "I'll do it." The crowd cheered as the booth owner handed him a single pepper in a little paper cup. Elliot examined it, shrugged, and popped it into his mouth like it was a cherry tomato. The first second, nothing happened. "See," Elliot said proudly, chewing. "Tastes kind of fruity, actually. I don't know what the big D then the fire hit." It started on his tongue, a prickly heat that quickly grew into an inferno. Within seconds, it spread to his throat, then his entire face. His eyes widened, watering instantly. Sweat broke out on his forehead. His chest burned like he had swallowed lava. Elliot let out a strangled sound that was half gasp, half cough. GHHKKK. The crowd roared with laughter. "You okay, buddy?" the booth owner asked with a smirk. Elliot tried to respond but could only squeak out water. "No water allowed," the owner announced. "That makes it worse anyway." Elliot stumbled in circles, fanning his mouth with his hands. His friends watched in horror and amusement. "Oh my gosh, are you dying?" Nora yelled. "My tongue is melting," Elliot cried, his voice cracking like a teenager's. Within a minute, tears were streaming down his face. He wiped them away, but more kept coming. His nose started running uncontrollably. He hiccuped violently, then wailed, "Why would anyone invent this?" The crowd was doubled over laughing. Some people filmed on their phones. Others shouted encouragement. "Hang in there." Elliot staggered to a bench, collapsing like a marathon runner. His entire body felt like it was vibrating. I think I see God," he muttered, clutching his chest. "You're only 2 minutes in," the booth owner called cheerfully. 2 minutes. Elliot sobbed. "It feels like 20 years. He hiccuped again, then wailed louder. His tears poured faster, soaking his shirt. Every attempt to breathe only spread the fire deeper into his lungs. "Milk," he begged. "Please, for the love of humanity, milk. No milk until 5 minutes." The booth owner insisted, grinning like a villain. By now, Elliot's face was beet red. His hair was damp with sweat. He stomped his feet like a toddler throwing a tantrum, except his tantrum was caused by capsaicin agony. When the 5-minute timer finally dinged, the crowd applauded wildly. Elliot immediately grabbed the gallon of milk his friend had bought from a nearby stall and chugged it straight from the container. White foam dribbled down his chin, but the relief was short-lived. After about 30 seconds, the burn came roaring back, worse than before. Elliot howled. It's in my soul. I'll never be the same." His friends tried not to laugh, but it was impossible. "You're crying harder than when you broke up with Ashley," one of them shouted. "This is worse than Ashley," Elliot screamed. For the next 3 hours, Elliot lived in pepper purgatory. He alternated between sobbing, hiccuping, and pacing in frantic circles. He dunked his face in a fountain, begged strangers for ice cream, even tried chewing a stick of gum, which only made the fire spread. Children pointed.
"Mommy, why is that man crying like that?"
"Because he made bad choices," the mother whispered solemnly. Finally, after the longest afternoon of his life, the fire began to fade. Elliot sat slumped on the curb, eyes swollen, shirt soaked with sweat and tears, clutching the now-ended gallon of milk like a life preserver. "Worth it?" Nora asked gently. Elliot sniffled, his voice hoarse. I don't even want the $100 anymore. I just want peace. You lasted, though, she said, patting his back. You're technically a champion, Elliot groaned. I feel like a champion of bad decisions. Later that night, clips of Elliot's ordeal exploded on social media under the caption, Guy eats world's hottest pepper. Instantly regrets life choices. The internet had a field day. Comments poured in. Bro crying like his tongue broke up with him. World's hottest pepper? More like world's hottest mistake? Did anyone else hear his soul leave his body at minute 2? Elliot swore he would never touch anything spicier than ketchup again. But deep down, he knew his friends would never let him live it down. And somewhere in the festival grounds, the booth owner was already polishing another pepper, grinning as he waited for the next victim.